Hi guys, today's guest went from writing content that Google completely ignored to running an agency which has like a team filled of AIs and humans. I'm not even sure how many human team members he has now, but he learned SEO from friends in Chiang Mai coffee shops, lived the digital nomad dream, and built everything from scratch. But before the success, there were failures, doubts, and moments from where he almost gave up. This is the story about the real journey, not just the highlight reel. Please welcome Julian Goldie.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Julian, before SEO existed in your life, like who was you? Who were you? What were you doing? And what were you searching for? What happened?
Before I got into SEO,
Yeah, before SEO.
so before SEO, I was actually working as a copywriter. So I was a sales copywriter. I was working online. And the problem with that was like my time was really capped. So like I was freelancing and you get up to like maybe 3 or 5K a month USD. And then you drop back down again because people are like, oh, I've got my sales page. I don't need any more work. And so one thing I was trying to do to get more clients, I was like, if I just get more clients, I'll scale. And so I created my own portfolio website and I would spend like 3 hours a day creating content through it. But the biggest issue with that was that I was spending hours creating this content and it wasn't ranking. It wasn't getting any traffic. So I was like, what's going on here?
So okay, so you created a portfolio of sites, right? And when was it? Like before you left Manchester for Asia, or what happened there? Why did you leave Manchester in a way?
So for me, like I went on a lad's holiday with some mates and, we were all best mates for years. We went out to Thailand for 2 weeks. And so we went on this lad's holiday, had like a great time, great food, great weather, great culture in Thailand, went to Bangkok and Chiang Mai and everywhere. And I'd never had any intention before I went to Thailand to start my own business. So like for me, it was just wanting to go on a holiday. I was working like a full-time office job that I absolutely hated. I spent 2 weeks out in Thailand, but when I got back in England, it was like bad food, bad weather, bored out my mind, hated my office job, and I had the holiday blues massively. And so me and my mates were like, okay, listen, within 1 year, we want to be back out in Thailand with the freedom to live and work anywhere in the world. And all five of us actually built a business and actually made it back to Thailand. So it was pretty amazing, really. We were all kind of holding each other accountable to doing something about it.
Wow, are those friends still in touch with you? Are they still partners or something?
Yeah. Still message them, still like friends with them. One of them actually built an audiobooks business with. We sold like 33,000 audiobooks together, which was pretty
Wow,
crazy. So yeah, we're still good mates.
quite
We,
nice.
we
Yeah.
s- yeah, it's nice. Yes, probably don't see
I
each other
mean,
again, but
just the decision of just going out to Thailand for a holiday and just the quick decision in a way to move everything to Asia, that's quite like daring one.
yeah. My
Um,
family were like, don't do it. That's what they told
oh,
me. Don't do it. Don't start a business. They were like, it's too risky. Stay with your $2,000 a month job.
I can understand, yeah.
And no,
Um,
it's not going to do that.
and it's actually a very big decision to move as well. I can't see myself doing that. Like, I'm married now, so I'm not really sure if I can take a decision of moving somewhere. It's just the family, yeah, that restricts us.
I think for me, it was like, I literally had no attachments. It was like I was single, don't have a family, didn't really like my job, love, my grandma and granddad, my mum and everyone, and my dad and on all that side of the family. Like, if they want me to be happy, they'll be happy for me when I'm traveling and start my own business. And they all were eventually, just took time. My mum's happy now. She's retired. She can't complain now.
Yeah, I think that's a great validation, right? When you start sending back money and make their lives easier or something like that, it's a great validation for them.
100%. Like, I mean, when we were growing up, like, we had no money. My mum was like a single mum, but I literally had no food to pay. I mean, like, literally, like, no food in the fridge, no money to pay for anything. Couldn't do anything. Everything was like, can we do that, mum? No, no money. Can we do that? No, no money. All right. And then, like, as you get older and you can provide for them, you're like, okay, well, go to retire now. You don't have to work anymore. Or if you need that doing on the house, whatever. Or if you want to go to that gym, no problem. You want to come fly business class to Thailand, no problem. It's like, these are like the freedoms that I never had. And so it's empowering to have it now. Yeah.
And what year was it when you moved to Thailand?
It was 2015. So I was about,
20.
I think I started the business when I was 25 and then quit when I was 26 and moved out here. Yeah. But I've lived all over the world, like not just Thailand. I lived in Peru, Colombia, Bali, Mexico, everywhere.
Was it before Thailand or after Thailand? Like before moving to Thailand?
That I started the business.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like one year of just grinding away, and I had a job where I could work at home. And basically what I was doing, being 100% honest, was like doing the absolute minimum I could to get away with on my full-time job, and then just put in like 16 hours a day into growing that side hustle.
And did you start with a cryptocurrency website that did not went well or something?
That was a bit later, but the one that I started off really was I was working on Fiverr.com. If you
Okay.
type Julian Goldie on Fiverr.com, you'll see I've got like, I think over 1,000 5-star reviews. And literally all I was doing was like writing blog articles for $5,
Wow.
so I
So
was
you
probably
have seen
working
that hustle, yeah.
I was probably working about, when I first started, I was probably working like 100 hours a week. I was so cheap that countries like Vietnam would outsource their work to me. Like, that's how cheap I was. Didn't really know much about pricing back then, but I was just happy with the freedom to have to work online and live anywhere. I was probably working 100 hours a week yeah, maybe $400, $500 a month when I came out here.
Quite a hustle, by the way, yeah.
Brutal. It was a brutal hustle, but it taught me work ethic, so that's good.
Some say that you started with just $5 in your pocket, and like I just read it somewhere in one of your interviews or something that you had very little investment made when you started all this. And what was that like?
It kind of felt like, you have to do whatever it takes to work. So, like, for example, there was a lot of times, and you know what it's like. It's like you go to co-working space with a few friends, and they stop working about 12 p.m. But you've been in there earlier than them, and you're leaving at like 7 or 8 p.m. at night. That was the reality, and that was 7 days a week. And so it was like, and also, when I first came out to Chiang Mai in Thailand, it was like it's just wearing flip flops and living off like maybe $5 a day, something like that, but just living off like the street food there. But I mean, looking back, it kind of feels like the golden years, like, like teaches you a lot about life and saving money and living frugally and just appreciating what you have. For me, again, like I didn't really care about any of that. It was just about having the freedom.
And you live in Bangkok right now, right? Why the move from Chiang Mai to Bangkok?
I was literally bored out of my mind, mate. I mean, like Chiang Mai is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful but very, very quiet place, especially, if you're at a certain point where you're like, okay, well, I've got a lot more freedom now. I want to develop my lifestyle. Like, okay, we've sort of built up a business. I want to develop my network. I think moving to a capital city is always good for you because you got the energy, the fast pace, you got all these new connections that you make inside a capital city. And also, like, if you want to level things up, like, for example, recently I hired a personal assistant. You can just get like all the best connections, all the best people, all the best accommodation there. And I think life's a lot easier. But I think, if you need to just live frugally, just focus 100%, then Chiang Mai is an amazing place, beautiful place.
A lot of viewers or a lot of SEOs are actually in the hustle phase. What would you say to them? Like, oh,
Well, I think like it depends. If you're in that hustle phase, right? It's just like I think you just got to tell yourself, right? Number one, I'm not going to stop, and number two, I'm just going to relentlessly improve, and the results will come. The only people that I've seen failed on that journey, are the people that gave up way too early. The people who like maybe they start earning like six figures or six figures a month, sometimes even, and then they just stop, and it's like no, 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 no. Like you're like 1% on the journey. It's like you got to push as hard as you can for years and years and years. And like work ethic, especially, there's no point where you made it. Like the work ethic should be like a muscle that you just build for years and years and years and years. Like I want to work as hard as I can now. When I'm 50, when I'm 70, I don't ever plan to stop. And I think that's one of the best mindsets you can have. Like all the SEOs that I saw fail, they built a good income, made it passive, for example, like affiliate websites. And then you know what happened after COVID or after all these updates from Google was like all their websites got smashed. Helpful
yeah.
content update, tons of lazy SEOs and I got wiped out.
Yep. So I believe everyone who knows you has this question. What is the source of your motivation, or what's the reason behind your discipline that is like absolutely bonkers for anyone who looks at you? Like, I mean, you push out like 4 to 5 different videos every day on different channels. You have been doing this consistently since the last 3 years that I know you. And what's the motivation source? Like, what are you thinking mentally whenever you do this stuff compared to what we do as users? Like, we have so many distractions out there. How do you avoid that? How do you keep yourself focused even when you're making a lot of money than we are? What is it that pushes you to keep it going constantly?
Well, I think for me, it's like, it feels so easy, especially right now when we have the momentum, right? It's like, it's easy for me now. Because like if I put out a video, we can get like 15K views in 24 hours. And I always dreamed of having that opportunity when I was first starting on YouTube. Stuff like that, it's like you got so much momentum, it's easy. And so you're like, okay, if it's easy, I'm just gonna go as hard as possible. Like, because this is just like pressing a button, it works every time. I think the time when I actually needed discipline and when I wasn't enjoying it was like, and this is super hard for everyone who's getting started. I know what this feels like. It's painful. It's like, when you first start and you get no reward. You know what this is like, vibe. It's like you
Yeah.
might put out a YouTube video, nobody watches it, right? And you spend ages on that video, or you put out a new update on the SaaS product and nobody comments on it, or you don't get any new sales. That's the most painful part. And so I think at that point, like that's where you have to be super disciplined. But if you if you're doing what I do, which is like, okay, you wake up, you play with some cool stuff on AI automation, and you film it on a live stream whilst you do it, it's like that's not even discipline. Like that's super easy stuff. And then I think the other thing as well, like the way that I see it is, I always feel like there's someone out there who's just working harder than me. So, I look at people like Alex Hormozy, the guy made like $100 million in 24 hours this year. And he's working harder than both of us. He worked like 100 hours a week. Sometimes I feel lazy, especially if I track all the time that I work every day, what tasks I work on, how much money it makes me, and sometimes like actual productive work, I might get like 8 or 9 hours, and I'm like, that's not good enough. Like you need to be 10 or 12 hours productive time to work, not just work. So stuff like that, I feel like I have a lot of room for growth. And then when it comes to distractions, I know you were talking about that. Obviously in Thailand, there's a lot of distractions, many different ways, right?
Yeah.
So I remember hearing that quote of Steve Jobs, who every week he'd have a meeting with all the A players at Apple. And he'd ask them, like, what did you say no to recently? And I think that's a really good way to handle distractions. It's like, it's just you saying no to pretty much everything that isn't your main goal. And so for me, what I'd actually do is I have a distractions tracker and I write down what distracted me, how much time I wasted, and how I can stop that ever happening again. And so like, it's so easy for me to say no because I'm like, okay, I know last time I did this, total mess, never do that again. And I just list and have a long list and journal of all the things I've said no to and how much time it saved me. And that makes it easy. Kind of turns it into a game.
Wow. That's actually a nice idea. Like we can have a distractions tracker instead of a to-do list. So yeah,
Yeah.
if we know what we need to avoid, we can actually focus on what we need to do. Yeah, quite nice. That's great
Yeah, I know.
feedback. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you were asking me like to start a SaaS tool, right? And I was saying, I actually that was one of the most recent things I listed in the nose tracker.
Wow.
Yeah. But I really appreciated the opportunity as well. Like that was super kind of
Yeah,
you.
but if you know about it, like Jackie Chow was actually inspired by how you put out videos every day, and he immediately
He's a
grew and
beast.
started implemented it, and in a way like he did one video every day, no matter where he was in the world, for 365 days, and that's actually quite commendable. Like I still want to I want to learn how disciplined you can be to achieve that. Like for every day, like there are so many distractions in the. I can't imagine me doing that. Yeah. Anyway,
You can do
for now, it's very hard.
100% you can do it though. Like 100%. Like even if you just said, okay, well, every week I'm going to track down all the things that I said yes and no to, and then all the distractions and make sure I never repeat those again. It's like, the other thing I think about as well often is like, okay, where am I at? And who's the man I want to become? And there's like a huge distance between where I currently am and who I want to become. And it's like, I'm just trying to sort of close that gap slowly every single day. And one of the other things I think about is like, the goals worth pursuing, you can't achieve them whilst you're alive. So for example, like if you think about, okay, who do I want to become? Or who's that potential version of Vibath who can say no to everything, who's super, super focused? Like that, you're never going to have like the perfect version of you, but you can move closer towards that every single day and you get stronger and stronger in terms of your ability to say no.
And has this strategy helped you in a way with your fitness goals as well? Like, have actually, like, I think you're only focused on two things. One is your body, and the other is putting out videos and helping everyone else out there. So that's what I see. Like, you have this, I always see your ice bath videos, and I'm like, what the fuck are you on about, man? It's quite crazy. Like, that's really inspiring as well, but I'm like, I can never do that. Like, no matter it's cold or hot or whatever, you just put out an ice bath video every Monday or so, every week. And yeah, I think you have figured it out completely. Like, for example, I wanted to do this interview about your personal lifestyle and what are you as a person that will inspire people more compared to the SEOs and stuff that you know. Like, I know you have a great link building agency, you have a great community out there, but it's just how disciplined you are and how many hours you put into work, and even with your own lifestyle, your food habits or even fitness habits, it's quite commendable. I would like to say, like, you are an inspiration. Like, whenever I meet you, it's like, wow, man, you have outdone yourself, like whenever I met you last time. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. It's super kind. Super kind. I mean, one of the
Yeah.
things, just going back to that, to you saying about the videos, right? So, like, I actually, like, right now, I don't even have my phone on me. So, my personal assistant, from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., she handles my phone. I don't even touch it, don't look at it, don't think about it. And she's
Wow.
always taking videos of me when I'm working or if I'm in the gym or whatever.
So
Yeah.
when I chat with you, it's not you.
Yeah. Like, it's me on the web app. So, I've got
Okay.
WhatsApp on the web app when we chat, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the things is if for example, like if I want to get a vlog done, I'm not even thinking about it. Like I was just getting my hair cut before and she was recording the vlog whilst I was getting my hair cut. It's
Oh,
effortless. I think
wow.
the easier you can make it as well around you to block the distractions, you can help yourself so much. Like even for example, if I'm with a personal assistant, I'm not gonna eat trashy food because she's watching. And I'm like the leader, right? I have to set an example. And so like just little things like that will help you a lot. Yeah.
So what are the working hours for this?
For the assistant, just like 9 till 5 p.m. But honestly, like even today, she'll finish like 3:30, 4 p.m. It's a super chill job because it's personal, right? It's not work related.
You're living the celebrity lifestyle in a way.
And that's one of the things we're trying to build is like more status, right? More visibility. One of my goals is to reach 1 billion people with my content. We already reach like 100 million people a year. I just want to keep stacking that and building that, building that to the point where like we have more leverage, more influence, more power, more status than ever before.
Do you still play video games like Skyrim?
You know, that's one of the reasons that I started a link building agency, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like back in the day, one of my goals, and me and my friend in Chiang Mai, we had a conversation about that, and he actually went off and did it, which is funny. One of the goals was just to get to 10K a month and then live in a cheap condo in Chiang Mai and play Skyrim all day. Like that was purely the goal for link building. Then once I got up to that point, I was like, "Do you know what? Don't really fancy playing Skyrim anymore. It's a bit dated."
And I think you started on Upwork as well, along with Fiverr. Most people look down on freelancing platforms, like for some reason. But what was it getting your first client? Do you remember what you charged?
Yeah, so I had a friend really helped me along the journey. Super nice guy. He lives in Chiang Mai, Lewis Parrott, and he's an SEO as well. And so like he taught me like how to get clients on Upwork and how to land high ticket clients. Previous to that, I thought like you could only get clients for like I don't know $5 or $10 an hour, or you're competing with people in Vietnam or whatever. But actually, no. Like you can land some of our highest paying clients ever have come from Upwork. We've actually made, I think on my personal profile, we've made $1 million. And then on my agency profile as well on Upwork, we've made over $1 million too. And so like you can land super high ticket clients on there if you have the right strategy. And the right strategy is just like create a great offer and then market it like crazy. Reach out to a lot of people on Upwork and be consistent.
How would the offer look like? For example, if anyone is watching it and he wants to start getting some high ticket clients, what would the offer look like for
So I bet
feedback?
I always find like the best way to start is like just speak to the customers. So like one thing I started doing on when I was starting to sell link building was speak to clients and then just get a feel for like what are all the common questions they're asking and then what are they looking for specifically. And I just created a proposal based on that. So I knew like they didn't want any technical jargon. They wanted to know exactly how we were building links, what the cost per link was, and then also what the plan is in terms of like from day 1 to day 30. And so like based on that, I could easily create a proposal on Upwork and just send it to people and be like, so you're looking for a link builder, here's what we do, here's some case studies, you want to jump on a call. And like it would be as simple as that and just you would land tons of clients.
Do you think Upwork is now, like, with all the AI proposals and stuff, is it now reliable?
It's harder. It is harder than ever before for sure. Like because you got loads of people just automating the responses. I'm sure there's a way to cut through the noise, but honestly, if I look at okay, what has the highest leverage, right? So like what gives me the biggest output for the lowest input out of everything that we do, easily Facebook ads. Because Facebook ads, like I don't have to reach out to people. I can reach millions of people. I can reach thousands of people if I want to, right? It's like literally all it takes is just increasing the budget. And then also like if you can get, let's say you can get calls booked in for $50 or $100, which is what we do, then if we book 10 of those, we guarantee the sale. And so like it's super scalable, and all you need is people to take the sales calls. Super
Yeah.
high leverage. I think out of everything, if you've got money to invest as an agency, Facebook ads, yeah. If you don't have money, I think you're doing the right way by the Vibe, which is like if you want to get more customers and more clients, just create YouTube content every day. You know,
Yeah.
that's you can't go
And
wrong.
what's your, are you able to, the issue with agency or even SaaS tool when it comes to FB ads or something is tracking ROAs properly, like return on ad spends. Are you able to track that properly, or is it like a bit unorganized in that manner?
It's something you gradually start out with, right? So, like, first month you do it, you have no idea what you're doing or how to track it or where everyone's coming from or anything like that. And then gradually, I mean, there's something we've been developing for years, but like, we can now easily see, okay, how much money we're making per ad, who's our best closer on the team, how much money we're making per closer, and like your data just gets better and better and better. It's kind of like you got this big bundle of rope that's all tangled together, and with Facebook ads, you just slowly unravel it and you just learn more and more and more and more. I'm still learning more about Facebook ads every day because, like, the systems that you can set up are infinitely scalable and you can always become more efficient at it.
Awesome. And okay, coming back to your history, like when did you get your first real win? The moment where you thought, okay, this actually works. What happened? Like this is an industry where you can see yourself in the future, like the SEO one.
Probably when I landed my first link building client, I realized, wow, like it's so easy to keep these clients, make them pay high ticket prices, and then also they retain, right? So, like, I was doing these sales copywriting jobs before that, and bring them on, then they drop off because they've already got the sales page. Like it's 1 month of work, it's a project based. Whereas like with link building, they're paying every single month, and you can just stack it up more and more, 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 more. And all it is like how it's just a game of like how many clients can you get and how many clients can you keep, and that's it.
How many active clients do you have right now for in your agency?
Over 100.
And okay, let's go to the professional side where the growth has happened in your life. Now you are actually moving towards something like trying to make 1x to 10x. And at what point did you realize that you could not do this alone and you need a team?
Probably when I was working so many hours and I was hunched over a laptop, like typing all day. And I was like, I would start at 6 a.m. in the morning and finish about 7 p.m. at night. And like, literally couldn't even keep my eyes open. And one of the things that happened was like, I was working so much that I trapped a nerve in my leg and I couldn't work anymore. Like, because I literally had my arm was completely numb, like from the elbow onwards. I couldn't feel anything. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm probably working too much now. Like, probably overdone it on the typing. And so at that point, I was like, well, I literally can't work. I've got to hire someone. And so I hired a virtual assistant to help me. And then that seemed like a huge step. But really, it made me think, okay, well, that was easier than expected. I could hire like 3 or 5 of those. We actually ended up hiring him, then his 2 brothers, then people in his village. And then like it just expanded out, to the point where we got like over 50 people now. Yeah.
For myself, like what happens is it's very hard for me to delegate something. And if I do, if they ask me too many questions and I'm involved into that stuff a lot, I try to automate everything and then fire them. So what's your take on delegation? Like how do you do it so well?
So I think there's 3 parts to it, right? Which is like, number one, you create that step-by-step procedure. So it's like, okay, here's a video of me doing the task. And then here's, in simple ways that you literally can't fuck up, here's exactly how you do it, right? And it'll be like 8 or 10 steps. So I'd record my process and then step by step I list it out. And it's like as simple as it possibly can be. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is like when someone starts doing it, and literally I try and make my procedures so simple that anyone can do it. Like, for example, my virtual assistant who handles my X account, he never did Twitter before. Now he's reaching like 200,000 people a day minimum. And so what I try and do is like I'll quality control their work at least once a week, but hopefully like every couple of days. I'll just give them feedback and I'll be like, okay, here's the one thing you can improve that would have the biggest impact on everything you do. And if they implement that, then I'll give the next piece of feedback and the next one. So like, over the space of a month, if they get 10 pieces of 10 pieces of feedback, they're 10 times better than they ever were. So like, just to recap there, step-by-step operating procedure is stage number 1. Stage number 2 is quality control. And then stage number 3 is like, okay, how can we scale this? Can we get more people? Do we need to do it better? Do we need to get that person posting more often, for example? And just like, how can we do it more or better?
And Do you have any senior management level positions in your team, or is it just like different tasks that you have defined SOPs for and they just do everything according to your templates? Or is there any senior management levels where they do the thinking of how it can grow and stuff and they can delegate stuff to the lower level assistants?
Yeah, so it depends. Like, for example, on the agency side, we have two leaders in the account management side. So they're like responsible for growing the account management side and selling more deals to our clients, keeping them for longer, etc. So they handle all of that. And then on the operations side, we have an ops manager. She's worked with me since literally day one, and she handles hiring, improving the systems, getting the cost per link down, etc. And so, like on the SEO agency side, the only thing that I really focus on and help the team with is sales and marketing. And then in the community side, it's just me. That's one of the cool things about the community is like it's literally we make $87,000 a month, and it's just me, like me and a few virtual assistants promoting it.
Wow.
It's
Quite
way
nice.
more chill than an agency. Agency is super high stress.
And it says like I read it somewhere like your team takes like 6 to 7 back and forth messages from the client to close one backlink. Like this is for selling links and stuff. Acquiring links. That sounds very exhausting as well. So how did you build systems around something so manual?
Yeah, so we use Pitchbox. That helps a lot because that automates a lot of the process. Sending out emails, finding the email addresses, following up, etc. That's all automated. And then when it actually comes to handling the emails, we have like these canned response templates. And it's literally the same formula, like over and over and over again for negotiating. And then also, when it comes to link building, once we have a partner and we can rely on them, they have good quality links, etc., then usually it's so much easier to get the second or the third or the 10th backlink from them. And so, like from there, we've got a short list of people that we've vetted, and they're really good for building links. And like it's just one message, and then boom, link done.
You went from an SEO guy to an AI vibe coding guy quite recently. And I think you are quite aware of what's happening everywhere. Even if it's a new model that comes out, you would have a video on it like within 15 minutes or so. And it can be either from your AI digital avatar. I've seen some videos and it looks quite nice, or it can be you as well. So how do you keep track of things? And then secondly, you are on it doing a video, like exploring along the way. Like I've seen some of videos where you actually go and explore the things instead of having, learning everything around it and then explaining what it does. Instead, you are just as a user, and people I think can relate better when you try to explore something new together.
Yeah, so when it comes to the team and the AI avatar videos they create, we have a list of like topics that always work and a list of topics to avoid. And then we have a list of competitors and Twitter profiles to check for the latest news. And so like when they go to create videos, they just look through this list and they're like, okay, this Twitter profile, let's say NotebookLM or Google Gemini have released a new update. Let's get a video about that out ASAP. And then also when they look at the competitors, you might have like 20 competitors on the list who create videos similar to ours. And it's like, okay, out of all those 20 competitors that created a video today, which is the top one or two topics that absolutely popped off? Because we'll just focus on those. We're not going to create videos about everything. And so like that makes it really easy to like keep your finger on the trigger and keep focused on what works. And then also one thing that we do often is like we just look at what worked for us previously. We know that our audience loves that. And so we're going to make it again and again and again until it finally stops working. And then when it comes to the videos that I do personally, typically in the morning when I'm doing the live stream prep, and that will usually be about 5 a.m., I'll look through the explore page of my Twitter account because that seems to be like the best place for breaking news. I'll see what's trending on there as well. And then I'll look through all those Twitter profiles that create content regularly to see what the latest updates are. And so from there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to create an update about this. And sometimes it's not even like a new update. It will be like something that came out last week or a few weeks ago, but does really well. And then when it comes to actually exploring the tool, I like to go on a journey with the people watching and just see, okay, is it good or not? Like, for example, if I have a look at ChatGPT 5.2, it was really interesting to just test that live, cut through all the hype, and just see is it actually good or not. And to be honest, it was pretty terrible. I don't know if you tried it.
I can agree. Like a lot of people are actually coming out like it's not even that great.
No,
Yeah.
no. And I think people like that. Like, if we all experience the same thing together at the same time, like there's something interesting about that.
I think people usually watch the entire video because they do not have to trace them themselves because you're actually doing it for them. So you're saving them time.
Yeah, one of the things that I did recently was like I reached out to our members who have stayed with us the longest inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I was like, "Why do you stay around? Like, what's keeping you here?" And they were like, "Well, you're always on top of the newest updates. You're always on top of the newest trends." I was like, "Okay, I need to go harder into that. I need to dive really deep into that."
What about AI content sites? You have built out some experiments. Are you building out new sites right now, or it's just AI and link building stuff that you're focused on?
Yeah, so I have a team that takes the only SEO that we do personally for ourselves, as an agency, is like we take the videos that we create and then it's so easy to turn them into transcripts and then create a blog post out of them. And so like one video will create 15 pieces of content, 15 pieces of blog content, and we'll post that on like LinkedIn, LinkedIn newsletters, Reddit. I mean, our Reddit, the subreddit we created like this year in
Yeah.
February, it's getting like 50,000 views a month now,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty wild. And all we do is like we take the transcripts from our videos and then pop them in there. So like it's really easy to do that and it ranks super well. Like all our rankings have gone up across all our platforms.
Interesting. And 96% of your YouTube traffic comes from Google search. Like you're targeting all these low keywords and simply creating video titles out of that. How did you figure it out? And can others replicate it easily?
Yeah, I think I've tested it on new channels, so you can replicate it easily. There's been instances where, for example, like my team who have other YouTube channels creating content around similar things will all rank on the first page of Google for that keyword. And so, like, sometimes we'll dominate the whole carousel for that particular keyword. So, yeah, even if it's a smaller channel or a newer channel, if it's a super low competition keyword, anyone can rank a video for it. So, we did a test with, I think it was something like SEO training Honiton just for fun. Super low competition keyword. Obviously, not many people going for it. Created a video with AI, and it was the world's worst AI video. Like this is before we had 11 labs and everything, and it still ranks. I think it still ranks even today. So like you can take advantage of it. And the reason that I saw it was like when I was creating videos, a lot of people were saying whatever I type in, whatever new AI tool, I see you ranking there for that keyword. And so I was like, okay, this is working really well. When I checked, it was like we're ranking on YouTube, we're ranking inside AI overviews, we're ranking on the carousel on Google, inside Perplexity, sometimes even ChatGPT, although I don't see that as much anymore. And so like it was like, okay, well, we can create one video but rank across 6 search engines. Great.
And the keyword research works the same way like we do it for blog articles, right? Like any keyword about 10 volume or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like anything below like KD10 is pretty easy and then low competition. And then also quite often like you can just look at the first page of Google and just figure out, okay, like can I beat these guys or not?
Quite nice. Quite interesting, yeah.
Super
And
easy.
a huge part of a business is also white label SEO, right? For other agencies. So why help your competitors in a way instead of crushing them?
I don't know. I don't see the world like that. Like I think honestly, literally, I'm just thinking back, like all my biggest competitors in the link building space, I'm friends with them all. Like I know them all personally. So I'd never want to crush them. But if we can both make money together, if they can white label with me, then I'm super happy with that. Like I honestly think like I would be happy to train if I had the time. I would happily train or give all my systems to my competitors if that meant we could build a better relationship or work together some way in the future.
Wow.
So I don't really see like us as competition. Even it's the same in the school games, right? Like for the community that we have for AI automation, it's like I know all the guys in the top 10. I've met them all personally. We've all had good conversations and done podcasts together and stuff like that. And it's like I don't know. I don't see them as competition. And there's very few people that I meet who actually intimidate me, is what I would say.
Looking back, what looks like an overnight success? Like people are looking at your YouTube channels. There, you have a subscribe. You have what 250K or more subscribers now. And I still remember like it was the year 2022 or so when you had 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
and we started to grow in a parallel way where you did a video on autoblogging like 1,000 articles in 15 minutes or so, and it blew up like crazily. And then you have never looked back. Like you have stopped doing much SEO videos, but you have moved to AI and stuff as the trend goes along. So in a way, like if someone looks at your channels or if your followership or your systems right now, like it will definitely look like an overnight success because you have picked on something and it has grown substantially. So what did it actually take for you?
Well, I mean, I've been doing YouTube, for example, for 5 years, and I was always the SEO that SEOs didn't know. So like nobody knew me, nobody had heard of me. I'd go to like SEO meetups and people would be like, "Who the F are you, mate?" And so like nobody knew my name. I started creating videos around COVID time, so that was what, 2020, and nobody would watch them. And then literally for like 3 years, I would create videos a few times a week. People would look at my channel and be like, "Mate, have you just got started?" Or I'd be like, "No, I've been doing this for 3 years." So it was really only when I started talking about SEO and AI that the channel began to blow up. And so, yeah, it looks like overnight success, but really it was at least 3 years of creating videos that nobody watched.
Okay, for someone who is watching this right now, who has not started SEO yet, or say any other thing that you are doing, like for example, video creation, something. Maybe they are in a job that that they hate, like yourself, when you started, and maybe they are broke as well. So what would you tell them?
Well, I mean, if you're broke, you've probably, I mean, here's the thing, like if you're broke, you have a lot of time, but you don't have a lot of money. And if you're wealthy, then you don't have any time, but you have money. And so like if you have a lot of time, but you don't have money, then I would focus on YouTube videos and I would send those YouTube videos to a funnel where you can get clients. Because like even if you just have one or two clients, you can charge them $1,000 a month for something pretty basic, maybe some SEO work. And then from there you can scale that. And so like I could have replaced my income with like 2 clients if I knew the right way to do it back when I was starting. And that would have taken a month, not a year. So like, I'd recommend YouTube for anyone. Positions you as an expert. You can just share what you're learning, what you're doing, and what you're working on. And then from there, people naturally want to hire you and work from you because they've watched your videos, they trust you, they know you, they see your expertise, and they're like, okay, I could work with this guy.
For someone who has a very small agency but can't seem to break past a certain revenue point, like they have a monthly figure and they just can't seem to break it. So
Yeah.
what's the unlock? What would you tell to them?
We all go through those plateaus, like, and that those plateaus never stop. Like, that's just something you'll face. Everyone faces those across their career. Like, I face them today. Everyone I know faces a plateau at certain points in the year, and it's always like massive growth, stagnation period, massive growth again. That tends to be the case if you're working hard. So I would say, like, just know that any constraint you have or any sort of plateau that you're facing, if you're going stagnant, for example, and you can't break through a certain target, like if you relentlessly improve and you just keep going, eventually you'll brute force the outcome. So the way that I like to look at it is like, okay, if what I'm doing right now isn't getting the outcome I'm working on, then usually I'll just focus on, okay, what's making me money? And then how can I double or triple or 10x the inputs? So, for example, if we get like 5 customers a day, creating a couple of videos a day with YouTube, well, let's do 4 videos a day and let's get 10 customers a day. And if that's not enough, let's do 8 videos a day. If that's not enough, then we'll create multiple channels and we'll create 10 videos a day on every channel. And like just increasing the volume of inputs until you finally get the output you want. And you don't know that formula. You don't know what's required until you get into it. And it's usually way more than you expect. So, for example, if you were starting on Upwork, you might think you only need to send like 5 job proposals a week, but actually you might need to send like 15 a day minimum. If you're getting started on YouTube, you might think, okay, I need to create 1 good video a week, but no, you probably need to create like 3 or 4 videos a day, and just increase the inputs until you get the outputs you want.
Perfect. Let's just move to rapid fire, like very quick. This will be the like ending part of it. And thanks for sharing all this so far. Let's start with the rapid fire first question. First thing you do when you wake up.
Drink a coffee and then get straight to work. I try and get to work within like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. ChatGPT or Claude.
Claude.
Favorite thing about living in Thailand.
The people.
One tool you could not live without.
Google Docs or Google Sheets. My whole life runs on them.
Worst SEO advice you have ever heard.
Don't build backlinks.
Best money you have spent on your business.
2 things for focus. These headphones, they cost about £5 or $10, and then earplugs underneath. You have so much focus when you do that. I would say you're going to get a lot more done. Cut out the noise.
A biggest waste of money on your business.
I won't say who, but I hired an agency to help me with Facebook ads a couple of years ago. One of the worst things I've ever done.
Wow. And what would you tell 25-year-old Julian when he started back?
Be patient, like there's no rush, and just work as hard as you can and relentlessly improve. Never stop.
Complete this sentence. Most people fail at SEO because
they give up too early.
But I have a follow-up question. Like, you still
They
need
don't
to
use
give up
autoblogging.
some. So, okay, what does the future of SEO looks like in 5 years, according to you?
I think it just more and more AI. Like wherever AI goes, search is going. I think humans have searched since the dawn of time, so that's never going to stop. It's always going to be like that today and tomorrow and in 5 years. But the way that people search will just become easier and easier and deeper with AI because it's effortless and it gives you better answers. And
And are backlinks and still the number one ranking factor?
I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but yes.
Okay, and what's next for you, for Julian Goldie?
Or just keep growing, keep doing more, and keep doing better.
And I think the final question, autoblogging.ai, your honest thoughts.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I mean, I love the brand. You know, I think you're a great person to work with. And we've had a lot of good chats over the years. We were having a bit of banter before we got on the call.
Yeah.
But, right.
And
If anyone is watching, basically we were saying, you know, Ibaf's camera and then his web stream link wasn't working. And we were saying it's Google trying to intervene here.
yeah, and the good old Indian fix worked, which is I just simply restarted my computer and it worked out of nowhere. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks, Julian, for giving us your time. And I believe everyone would agree, like if we are more disciplined in our work, in our lifestyle, like Julian, who is an inspiration, I think he simply shows what can happen if you are very much disciplined. That's what I see Julian as, the most disciplined guy out there. And yeah, he's an inspiration. So thank you for being here, Julian.
Thank you, man. You're being too nice. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you.
No, it's from the heart. That's what I really believe. Yeah.